Nigerian rap duo Show Dem Camp continue to shape the sound of contemporary African music with their unique blend of hip-hop, Afrobeats, and storytelling, known for their celebrated Palm Wine music series and the string of acclaimed performances. The duo has built a loyal following by blending sharp lyrics with smooth production, and they join me on the show right here today. First of all, I mean, congrats on, should I say, a very stellar career so far. You guys have been around for over 15 years. A lot of new cats won't even know how long you guys have been around for. I tell you, like, so how's the journey been so far with you guys? And I mean, if you look at how far you've come, what has that been like, you know, for both of you? I'll start with you.
Maybe I'll talk on how the journey has been so far. I feel like for us, it's been a period of growth. Like, we came into this industry in 2000, even longer than 15 years, because it was 2008, 2009, when we first put out our first song. And since then, it's just been a journey of, first of all, discovering our sound. Aside from discovering our sound, then we decided to, like, you know, create our own platform. We've always been independent. We've never been signed to a record label. Everything we've done has come from our own pockets, our own, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, as they say, you know. And so for me, it's been a real independent journey. But then, obviously, they say if you're the one that cooks the meal by yourself, you get to reap the benefits at the end of it. And so we're grateful for our longevity in the game. We're grateful for all the artists that we've helped bring into the industry.
Yeah, you guys have actually
collaborated with us from a very early stage in their career till now. And so it's funny because, you know, I was saying to someone a while ago, a whole bunch of us, Thames, Budge, Show Dem Camp, we all used to work out of a little studio around the corner from here. And now everybody is global. Everybody has taken the music to the rest of the world. We're all touring in different countries around the world now. And so it's just remarkable with our journey, but also the journey of the Nigerian music industry to see where our music is going. It's really been amazing.
I want to ask, like, I mean, I feel like for artists that have stayed around for too long, there's this talk. I mean, you guys have been around for a while. Longevity, you know, how far can we take it? Has there ever been a time you guys were like, oh, more, if we don't release something now, more might fade out? Or was there ever that fear? I'll go with you, Tech. Sorry.
I think we, because we had so much output, we generally are studio rats, and I think at a point we were a bit itchy about not having released music for a while, for like a year actually. So I think because we are creatives by nature, we always have it in the back of our mind to be in the studio, and I guess, you know, those things will come naturally for us to whenever it is time to hang up the mic. Yeah, we will do that, but we generally stay in the studio, generally stay creative, and we you know, keep our ears to the ground for new talent all the time. So even as this project is going out, you know, I've already called the producer to say, like, you know, are we working on the next one or something like that? So we stay working.
Yeah, I think we love music. We love music.
Yes,
so
I mean, for you to stay this long, trust me, you have to have a passion for the job. Now, the collaboration of you, Budge, I mean, there was a time I just think you guys were all siblings. I'm not gonna lie. You guys are always together, and I feel like all the tracks you guys have brought out together have been hits. But now let's talk about, should I say, you guys have been around for a while now. The growth of the music industry, you guys have been here, you've seen it happen, you know, from how Afrobeats is now being accepted globally. What has stood out for you guys so far? And I mean, did you guys see this industry get to this point where we're getting Grammys, you know, even apart from just getting shouts, even winning the awards itself?
I think so. I think that, you know what's funny, two things actually. One, when we first came into the industry, there was always this idea of how do we get our music out there? When we first came, people were still selling CDs on the side of the road. So you're not sure how far your music goes. And, you know, now with the advent of streaming, that was the first change. So now our music is getting to Japan, to Sweden, to Kenya, to the US. So we start expanding and getting to more fans. And I think our music has always been great. I think streaming just amplified everything and let it go out to the rest of the world. And I think now, I remember one time we were talking with some friends and I was saying that one day we'll get to the Grammy Awards, you know. And funny enough, you know, last year, you know, I went with Thames as she picked up her Grammy, you know. And so for me, I realized that...
Two-time Grammy winner,
you know. I realized that, like, you know, the people that came before us, the Two Faces, the D'banj, Mo Hits, all of those people, they opened the door for the next generation. I feel we too, we've opened the door as well for the next generation. So for us, ultimately, it's a success for the entire nation when one of us wins something, you know.
Exactly, and I mean, Thames, I'm a fan of Thames, I'm not gonna lie. When she first started, I was first concerned about, you know, her style of music. Now Nigerians like party songs, but I'm happy that she stuck to it. But now for you, Wale, I mean, being managing Thames, how have you been able to actually do that and also do music?
Yeah. I think it's been because of the love for music. You know, when I first met Thames, we were just fans. We just heard her music. She only had maybe like 400 followers at the time, you know, and we just felt, okay, you know, this is somebody that we want to collaborate with and work with. And just as a natural process, then you start guiding people. Take your song to this radio station, take your song to this person. And then eventually from that relationship, she then asked me to manage her. You know, even at the time, I was like, I'm not a manager, I'm an artist, you know. But I think what has really helped our relationship is the fact that as an artist, I know what an artist goes through. You know, so you're able to apply some of that knowledge into how you manage another artist, you know, and I think that's really been the insights that I've been able to share with her. And thankfully it's worked, man. We've been on a roller coaster of a journey, but it's really amazing.
Okay, I mean, because I don't like, I'm trying to picture you being an artist and still being major. Even me as a presenter, doing TV and radio almost, sometimes that might be it's tricky. Now let's talk about, I mean, the conversation around the big three, something that has been, you know, should I talked about and all that. Do you feel fans are the ones, should I say, constructing this whole big three conversation? And I feel like, do you feel like, I'll hear from you, I feel like, what do you feel like? Do you feel like we should I say, scrap that comparison? You know, having, you know, Davido, Burna Boy, Wizkid, because I feel like we have loads of artists that I can say there's a big 10. So that big three, you know, categorization, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think that, I don't think if you asked any of the artists individually that they'll be talking about, we are the big three, I'm the big three, you know. I think the fans...
Yeah, I've been asked abroad, and I see some interviews, but yeah, go
ahead. I mean, I think that was because the fans have created that conversation. I mean, I think generally anybody who has drive that some of these artists have, like a Wizkid or the Banjo, Davido, or, you know, they generally are competitive, right? I think that it's actually but that's just after the drive to succeed. I think it's actually the fan base that creates, you know, all these narratives that, and it's up to the narrative, it's up to the fan base because they're the ones who make you who you are. Like they build your brand up to where it is. So obviously they're going to be proud of somebody who they've had love for. But in terms of big three or big 10, I think, you know, I agree that there should be a wide base of, you know, artists that we could be looking to. But I generally don't even pay much attention to that. I think that as long as the light is being shone on our genre in general, that is always a good look.
I also think, yes, you know, to answer the question as well, I also think the fans do play a big part, you know, because, you know, we can release something today and somebody who's a fan of somebody, I don't like this song because I like this other person's song. We take music now almost like football. You know, like we're now like taking music like football, like the fact that, but the truth is that like even in football, right, as much as I'm an Arsenal supporter, I can actually watch other teams play football and appreciate the football. Like, obviously, yes, banter, we'll joke, we'll laugh or whatever, but it doesn't go beyond that. You know, like
that's because you're mature.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. You know, and so for me, I've always found this phenomenon. People like to have group think.
Yeah, group,
so if I can associate myself with this group, Wizkid FC or Burna Boy FC or Davido FC, yeah, like and I feel that the reality is where our industry will really thrive is where everybody comes together to do something. You know, like imagine a show, a concert, a global concert where Davido, Wizkid and Burna Boy, they're all on the same stage performing together with each other. The amount of hit records that each of them has, the amount of work they've put in. So I don't think supporting, I love all those three guys. I love their music. I think their music is incredible. So I can't tear another one down just because I want to support this one.
It's because you're maturing in the business. But if you look at it, do you think the competition or that categorization actually helped, you know, their music? Because I feel like sometimes you see like 30BG pushing Davido to make sure he gets to #1. Same thing with FC, same thing with Outsiders. And I feel like that categorization has also helped. You know how they have rap beefs and people choose camps and they push. Do you think it has helped the growth of Afrobeats or their careers basically in some sense?
Rap is a different kind of genre than because you can't categorically say that this song is better than that song. In rap beef, you can generally like break down something and say this person killed that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, you know, but with the music, I think, and sorry to go back on what I said before, I think sometimes the artists themselves play a role, like when they have
encourage it, right?
They encourage it when they have their own little petty beefs with each other. You know, their own little jabs at each other sometimes. But other than that, I don't think you can compare either of them unless you're talking about just simply numbers. That's the only way you can compare things, and you know there are various ways to look at that.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Now let's go to your albums now, from No Love in Lagos down to your latest album, African Magic. What is your creative process like? You know, how do you write your songs? How do you come up with, you know, the rhythm?
Yeah, I think in 2013 we released a song called Feel Alright, also featuring Bodge and Ladipo. And that was a song
that song was a jam.
If we were to put a mood board of our sound, I think that song would be high up on the mood board. And you know what then happened is that we met our producer Sparks sometime in like 2015, 2016, and you know, he was like, I want to go back to that Feel Alright sound. I feel like you guys tapped into something organic and fresh, and you didn't really explore it before you moved on. So we want to go back there and create. So then we created Palm Wine Music, which had all of these hit records and all of these songs, and we brought so many people into that world. Burna Boy, Thames, Mologo, Ladipo, all these people came into that world. From there, you know, we've been doing Clone Wars, which is because we felt at the time we were in a war of clones where people politically, socially, we're not thinking beyond what we have been fed. So we have to come out and speak about societal things, and we needed that platform separate from Palm Wine. So we created Clone Wars. Then with the Cavemen, they're a group that, you know, they came through as well and brought High Life. And High Life and Palm Wine Music are like brother and sister.
They actually,
you know,
siblings.
so fans as well were actually calling for when will SDC and Cavemen come together to do a song. So we actually then came together to do a whole project, you know, which was another thing. So for me, every stage of our journey, we're always experimenting and trying new things. And now we're at African Magic, which is really just us now being the OGs in the game, having fun with the music, man. You know, like I feel like we are making music that people our age, first of all, will resonate with, but even the youngins too will resonate with as well. Because I feel what a lot of older artists do is that they try and make music purely for the youngins. You know, and sometimes you miss it because I don't know, I hear new songs every day, Shaka Bulizi, different songs, and I think I see the kids, the younger generation going crazy to it, having fun. But I'm not in that age
Because I was looking at it was one of my questions. Like, you know, I mean, of course, you guys have been around for a while, OGs. Now, how do you now please your younger fans? Or because some people don't even know you guys so well. Because I mean, they were pretty maybe in primary schools when you guys were popping. When you guys started, rather not popping, when you guys started. But you know, how do you now, should I say, bring them along, carry them on the journey? Like, you know what?
I think that first of all, you have to create like good music, a quality of music. I feel like a lot of our projects, we try to create timeless pieces. And but also with the features that we have, you know, we get people who we have our ears to the ground, and luckily, like we have some people who we have grown with, and then we always tend to find, you know, anybody who is dope and that is creative, we find them, and you know that also reignites our energy to you know, and our creative juices. But I was pleasantly surprised that a lot of youngsters or younger generation actually really mess with our music, and you know, it's a testament to the quality of the music.
Whenever we do a show, like we do our Palm Wine Festival, whenever we do that, we see a young, very, very young audience, and we travel and we tour a lot in different countries. When we get there as well, we see a very young audience, you know, and that's why now I'm even happy that I'm getting some small grays, because whenever I travel, somebody say, those think you're their mates, because you're so, you know, so for me,
I haven't had that problem.
You know, you can't have that problem now. It's obvious. Like, I won't like, people don't even, let me not say my age, but people look at me like I'm in my 20s. I'm like,
exactly.
You go and enjoy yourself.
It's a great problem to have.
You even still have some gray. I don't have any at all. All right. Let's talk about making this particular album. I mean, how long did it take you guys to create this new album?
This one, I'd say about a year. I'll say the first song that we created for this album specifically was a year. But the thing is, the concept, African Magic, is actually a concept we've had for a few years. You know, when we first did Palm Wine Music 1, the next project we were going to go to was African Magic. But at the time, the Palm Wine Music series now became very popular, and people liked that. So we said, okay, let's do Palm Wine Music 2, and then it now went to Palm Wine Express, Palm Wine Music 3. You know, so African Magic for me is just, and also this year, strangely enough, you know, I've also then entered the film world, like the Nollywood world as well, with a film, My Father's Shadow, that myself and my brother created. You know, so it's also, I feel like it's perfect timing, it's alignment. You know, like a lot of African Magic, the rollout of this campaign is really you know, is really paying homage to Nollywood. Paying homage to Nollywood, because that was also some people who, the early Nollywood created an independent industry themselves, and they became worldwide stars as well. The Davies, the Ramsey Noahs, Omotola, all of these people are legends. So we're also paying homage to them as well.
Okay, before we talk about your latest venture into the movies, let me ask you, okay, so now out of all the tracks, which one stressed you guys the most? I feel like there's a particular track that probably maybe will stretch you. Maybe you feel like dropping the track, but eventually maybe complete it and put on the album.
No, we recorded a bunch of songs for this album. I think the one that took me the longest to finish was a song called Pele with an artist called Winnie. Because I thought that, you know, I really liked the song and I really wanted to do it justice. So I felt like that took me a long time to write. But generally, you know, with the sound, I'm naturally inspired when I hear something really dope. I'm naturally inspired to just write immediately. So
okay, all right, fair enough. So back to the movies now. Why are you going into the movies now? So you are a musician, a manager. Now, what's up?
I think it's just, to be honest with you, I don't really go into anything with an intention that, okay, I want to go into the, like, I just like to create things, you know. So I started writing a film idea in 2015. I sent it to my brother. He said he really loved it. Long story short, we started working on films together. So he then got me as his writer. My brother directs, and I started writing. And that film idea that we started working on in 2015 is what actually then became My Father's Shadow. And so for me, it's almost like, you know, it's funny to say, and I don't say it's belittling anything, but it's almost like an experiment sometimes. Like, oh, let me try and design a shirt, you know, let me try and write a script, you know, and then it just so happens that somehow, you know, like, and I guess maybe it's my sensibilities or what because I love to write. Somehow then, you know, when the film now got accepted as the first Nigerian film in Canada, I was surprised. You know, like, or the film wins this award, I'm surprised because for me, it's an experiment in my mind, you know, but I think we just have great collaborators and great people that we work with. And so as a result, I'm just able to focus on one thing, which is writing. And then the other people are excellent at all the other things.
Piecing it together.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what next for, you know, Show Dem Camp with singing your latest album? What's the future plan? I mean, 2025 is almost over.
Yes.
Yeah.
we're doing, we normally have a yearly annual festival called Palm Wine Festival. It's going to be happening again this year on the 21st of December. We're going to be in Lagos and Abuja for that. Then hopefully we're going to be touring next year. You see a lot of the people we collaborated with have dropped their own albums as well. Yeah. So we're planning to do, hopefully we'll be doing a tour next year as well.
Yeah. Tour, Europe, Nigeria?
Yeah, I mean, we did...
North America.
We've been touring North America
well.
for a while. We've toured the UK for a while. But now I think that, you know, the territories I would really love to tour more would be in Africa. You know, so we're actually going to Kenya next week, but we want to tour more in Africa, go to South Africa, go to Ghana, you know, because we started, this year was the first time we did a show in Ghana, we did one in Kenya, we're doing one in Kenya. So for me, I think the idea of just like touring Africa, going around the continent and sharing the music is already something I'm excited about. And also Europe as well. I feel like there's a lot of, when we look on the back end to see where the streams of the music are coming from, there's a lot of fans in Europe, in Germany, in France, in Netherlands. So we want to go to some of those places and spread the gospel of Show Dem Camp and Africa Magic.
Thank you so much, Okwan. I wish we could continue, but my producer is telling me that we need to go because we'll have to go to film and television. Thank you so much. And yes, keep it burning. You guys, some more. No, don't try. Let me not say, I'll say it off air.